Hello everyone, welcome to UWRF Esports Overwatch. Tonight we'll be playing against Lindenwood. My name is Justin, or JK Jeg. I'll be your main caster tonight.
My name is James. I have no other names.
Works for me, right?
Absolutely. I'm excited to get this match underway. The first map we're starting on, I believe this is, what is this again, Justin? Remind me again.
Arctic. Arctic Peninsula. Of course, they have to add the extra part. This map is kind of interesting. You got the high ground on the left side, right side of point. Also another high ground ramp that you can kind of play around as a tank. Makes it kind of interesting for your team fights, depending on your comp. Looks like for UWRF, we're running a Sombra Tracer dive with ball with Zenyatta Moira heals. Zenyatta Moira Season 9 patch has been very solid for a backline. With the universal 10% ult charge increase, Moira is still one of the fastest characters to build her ult in the game. So having her, the ability that she puts out damage-wise in her AoE heal with the new life increases to all characters universally has been a big help for most teams. And you'll be definitely seeing a lot of her, any competitive rank you see.
Absolutely, and we are underway already. We're going right into the battle. It looks like two members of UWRF are being split on. Agent 9 right now on the ball. We got a little bit of a freeze right now, but the fight is still going. Looks like nobody has fallen yet. No, never mind. The Lucio has fallen. Looks like they're taking the point still as a 4-man.
Yeah, Lindenwood has pretty solid control at this point here. Ball is just going to try and stall and wait for team to come back. Tracer's still trying to do a little bit of work down low, grabbing health pack. Looks like they were able to kind of stall this fight out, but Lindenwood did cap. So kind of a little bit of a reset here. Regroup, go back in, see if we can dive. It's going to be tough, though. They have Lucio, Moira in their back line. The Mei is definitely going to be hard to work with here. Definitely going to have to counter with Sombra and Tracer for sure.
Yeah, it looks like Lindenwood has a little bit of a tight notch sewn in right into the point right now, but Sombra's kind of going onto a flank right now. Let's see if we can get into a team fight. It looks like it's going to be a lot of prep coming off of the ball. 3-man knockup, that might be huge. We're going in with Sparky. Tracer on the flank right now, trying to hit the back line. Nothing's being done. It looks like the entirety of Lindenwood is actually separating one after another of the members.
UWRF, this is huge for Lindenwood. Maintain point control. Have to stall out again here for another regroup. It's just going to be tough to pick their supports off. You're just going to have to communicate well for UWRF with your Discord orbs, with Zenyatta. Zarya is going to be hard to burst down, especially with this comp. You can definitely see we're switching up here. We're bringing out the Soldier over the Sombra. They'll bring in a little bit of poke into this comp, but coordination will definitely be key. Ball, big minds on point here. I love the play.
That is a
Looks
very
like
big
Soldier
ult right
went
now.
down, Tracer down. We're down one here for UWRF, but then Zenyatta falls. We're gonna have to pull back out again.
Yeah, right now at a -3 deficit. It seems like River Falls is going to be respawning soon and trying to regroup again, but there's only so much time in a day right now. There's 91% on the point. Hampton is trying to do all that he can right now. Oh, the heals from Moira are still coming out. Moira ult pops out.
Coalescence is definitely going to win this fight here for Lindenwood. And they have a Mei ult online. It's going to be a tough one to touch here.
Yeah, it looks like the Mei ult is just going to be confirming the point. I don't think it was meant to do anything else but just slow down the hamster ball.
Yep.
Tracer is still going to be trying to dance around and poke the front line, but there's not much else they can do. Overtime is still going on. Looks like Lindenwood is going to be taking the first point, but there's still a contention. A small bit of hope. And Moira falls. Yep. Unfortunate bug bomb falls to Habibi, and that is what secures the match.
It's a tough point. You're running a dive comp into a tight little rush comp with the Zarya, Mei, and Reaper. They're just going to be able to try and control the ball as much as they can. They're not really going for your backline per se, but being able to mark the ball, have persistent damage, the speed with Lucio can really influence these team fights. At this level, ranked, we all know ranked. You never know what you're going to get in ranked play, especially when it comes to coordination. But when you're into these settings, everyone's calming and really on the same page. Having that Lucio and calling for speed boost can definitely really help you win these team fights.
Absolutely. Solo queue is a completely different beast entirely.
Yes.
I agree.
From experience, yep.
But when you're in an environment like this where all 5 party members are going to be in the same call and calming different things, it's going to be very hard to separate the noise from the actual
You can definitely see here with that the Lucio, they've already able to push into our side of height here on high ground, and they've already cleared us off a point, and this is going to be a tough one to take back. Just shows you the value of Lucio. But it also makes him very difficult to kill, as we lose both supports here. We'll have to regroup, but points just being capped, so I wouldn't really worry about it too much here.
Absolutely. Last game, it looked like River Falls, like you said, the hamster ball was the main focus point of the group. That is going to be the get-in playmaker, have the Sombra and the Tracer kind of hit the back line of healers. But the issue is Lindenwood had so much mobility, like you said, with the Lucio especially. I believe they were also running a
it was a brawl comp.
Oh, absolutely. The big Reaper. That's his name.
Reaper.
Goodness,
Yes,
it escaped me for a second. Which also has a surprising amount of mobility, not just with the ult where you can just kind of move and shoot in every direction, but also with the teleport. And it looks like we're actually going on to a huge brawl, 5v5 right now under the point. Front to back kind of fight right now.
Good
May
drop
going
here
off.
is important. Staying alive.
Oh,
Lost two, but they did get the Lucio. This is possibly winnable, but they end up dropping here, and Lindenwood's going to be able to secure this point, this first team fight.
Unfortunately, a huge ace, a full team wipe coming through onto the point with a 3v5. Let's see if River Falls can regroup and take the point with a different kind of strategy right now.
I like the comp River Falls is going with here. Kiriko is still a fantastic healer. She has the DPS ability to duel pretty much anyone in the game. She is a fantastic ult that helps win team fights. And she's just an all-around fantastic healer with her immortality, with the Suzu. It makes her one of the best players in the game for sure.
Absolutely. It looks like Agent 9 is going to get chunked down. I don't know where his healer is at, but we do have ulti online. Let's see if we can make a quick play right now against Lindenwood. River Falls is going to just try and kind of batter around a bit.
Losing the Curie will be difficult here, but the Coalescence keeps him up for a little bit. But it looks like they all drop. We'll have to regroup here one more time.
Yep, the kill feed entirely comes up blue.
Yep.
No kills on the side of River Falls. But we do have Reaper, Soldier 76, and Agent 9's ult. The huge black hole, I believe it still is. So let's see if we can try and capture the point with that. 75% to 24%. We still have some time to make a few plays here and there, but we don't have much time to dilly-dally and do some tick damage like we were last time. A little bit of whittling doesn't really work when you have a Lucio on the enemy team.
Yep. Especially when he has beat ready for this team fight here. It just makes it difficult. And as you can see with that Zarya grab, wasn't able to capitalize much with 2 down already. And we only have 2 left here. Moira drops, Kiriko drops, and that'll be a round win here and a game win for Lindenwood. So a little bit of a tough start, but it's going to be an interesting match. We'll see how we kind of play into this brawl comp. It's a very interesting matchup here with the Zarya. Their Zarya is a very high rank when I looked. I'm pretty sure GM 5 or 3. So having a tank, they're going to be the main shot caller usually for your team. They're definitely going to have a lot of experience being at that rank and that level. Being able to tell your Lucio when to speed boost, when to jump onto the other team is very critical at this level. And having that expertise it's just going to change team fights. So I'd love to see how we adapt here. And it's not bleak. Arctic Peninsula is a tough map, so I'm looking forward to see what we get next.
Absolutely. It's a learning experience. Sometimes you got to figure out what the enemy team is going to be planning ahead of time with the first 3 matches, and then the domino effect starts going. Once you win that first match, you kind of figure them out.
Yep.
You can start steamrolling. But yeah, it is a very interesting comp. I actually noticed that both teams kind of, except for the Hampton play, which unfortunately didn't work out. The ult was good, but clearing the site, there was sadly no follow-up. On the second round, they were both opting for a very, very similar comp.
Yep.
Both had Reaper. Both had, was it Zendaya?
They had Reaper. We had a Kiriko. They were keeping that Moira Lucio backline, which is a fantastic healing comp in Season 9. Especially with the coordination, they've just been solid all around. You'll notice that they're playing the Mei, the Reaper, the Moira. That's going to give them that survivability that we don't really have in our comp. Tracer or a Sombra will have the ability to get out, TP, kind of make fun plays, but Reaper being able to fade, Mei being able to ice block and just sit there and passively regen her health all the way up to max is huge in team fights. So I'm interested to see what kind of map we get next and what kind of comp we want to run.
Absolutely. It seemed like Lindenwood had a great counter to
Yes, for
UWRF's
sure.
attack.
Yep.
It seemed like UWRF had a few people that they wanted to throw on the flank, like we said, the Sombra and the
Yep.
Tracer, taking out the backline. But the backline has so much stall potential,
Yep.
like you said, with the May freeze. And again, when the IGL calls for that Lucio ult, there's no way you're
Yep.
killing them within 10
You're
seconds.
not.
It's just an absolute stall fest. And once
Yep.
you stall them out and they exhaust all their abilities, well, there's nowhere else to go but
Sitting
through.
ducks. Yep.
Absolutely. So, absolute roll right now for the first 2 matches. But again, like we were saying,
Yep.
it's kind of just setting out the feelers, wondering what comp is going to counter what. Lindenwood did counter this comp, but like we saw between the match 1 and match 2, River Falls is kind of changing it up.
They're able to adapt, and
Yeah.
being able to adapt to the enemy team is huge. You have to have multiple comps at your disposal. You never know what someone's going to run, if they're going to switch it
yeah.
up on the fly. Overwatch 2 is all about counter swapping, so I love that we're able to, throw away a comp and try and adapt to what the other team's doing. And I'm interested to see how this next round goes for sure. Playing into that brawl comp was tough with the dive, like you were saying, especially with the get out of jail free of a Lucio, and, riding around on the walls and having the Moira fade is definitely tough. Without that coordination, you have to be very, very on point of which healer you're going for. And at that point, it almost always has to be Lucio, and he has so many get out of jail frees so fast. So it's a tough match, but again, I think if we play a mirror brawl into this, we'll have a solid chance. It'll be interesting for sure.
A mirror brawl is the answer here, you think?
I think so. I think Zarya, as you can see, she got a couple tweaks to her damage values, hot fixed into Season 9, and her damage potential has always been very good at the high end. When she builds up that charge, she's able to put out a lot of damage really quickly. Her ult is fantastic for team coordination. Especially, you can see that with Lindenwood. They like to combo their grabs. They'll combo that with the Reaper ult and then the May ult. I'd like to see, if Lindenwood has something else they want to play depending on the map. And I like that we're able to adapt, so I'm looking forward.
Absolutely. Like you said, you keep using that word adaptability. That's true. It's kind of figuring out what each team has up their sleeve. And honestly, we kind of don't know either team's hand right now. They're just setting out the feelers. But I will say, I do like the idea of a brawl comp. These teams, they know their macro. They've played together for a while. Right. They can figure it out. I believe in both teams that they understand the comp that they need to run for any given situation. But in terms of specific characters, I want to know, what did you think about UWRF's character selection in terms of team fighting? Because I know you were talking about Kiriko, high healing, high single target damage, but a little more on the squishy side, a little less, I guess, she is pretty mobile, but when it's compared to a Reaper or a Lucio, they can hunt you down pretty quickly.
So Kiriko is, she has the Suzu, which is able to save people from that last bit of damage before they die. Get a quick heal, burst of healing off, and save someone in a team fight, which can definitely turn the tide of a fight for sure. She definitely has great mobility with her swift step. She's able to TP within a very wide, like 30, 20-meter range to any player on her team. And if she has that cooldown for Suzu, she's able to drop that immediately and help back up her team. So I love the Kiriko play. I have no problems with them coming out with a dive comp with the ball, the Tracer, and the Sombra. I love the comp. It's just tough to play into a coordinated brawl comp like with the Zarya, the Lucio, and the Moira. So the adaptability again was key. It was a little late, but I'm very interested to see again what we come out with, what Lindenwood comes out with. I want to see if they're able to. Fantastic map here to see. Kings Row. Classic brawl map. So I'm very excited to see here.
Absolute banger of a map. One of my favorites back when I used to play Overwatch 1, actually. But, no, I absolutely agree with what you're saying. I think that it's going to be interesting to see what these teams kind of pull out for a different map, as well as what they're going to pull out to try and subconsciously counter the other team.
Yes.
Which is going to be very interesting because it seems like Lindenwood, while they have had a few character changes here and there, they've primarily gone with the Lucio, the Reaper, kind of that, like you said, that brawler kind of hunkered down at the same time mentality. Whereas River Falls has been kind of switching it up all over the place. We had an engage. We had kind of a flank play with the Hampton ball. Then we kind of had more of like a tick damage, kind of like we're
Little bit of a
we're gonna whittle them down a little
Yep.
bit, more poking, which is, like you said, very hard when you have just so much stall potential on the other team. But I think it would be very interesting to see a very front to back comp. You know,
Yes.
like kind of like a Roman Legionnaire,
Yep.
where we have either one or two, not necessarily tanks, but one main tank and one pseudo tank,
Yep.
and kind of just push through the line and see if we can run Lindenberg over.
I agree. We'll have to see if they bring out the honorable Ryan duel. It's King's Row, playing the Reinhardt. It's one of those you have to see. You have to feel it out. I know Ryan is bad on this patch. It's just one of those things. It's King's Row. You have to see if the other team is going to play Reinhardt. Reinhardt is bad on this patch, but something like a Ramatra here could be very interesting for UWRF. I would assume Lindenwood's going to come out with their brawl comp. They might switch up the Zarya, they might not. But like you were saying with the off tank, having one of your DPS be a Reaper or a Mei allows them to create space, hold space, especially with Mei, having that ability to go into ice block, regenerate her health when she's low, put up an ice wall, which basically acts as another barrier that the other team has to fight through. So having those things available will definitely be interesting. And it looks like UWRF is definitely going with more of a poke comp here. They're starting out with the Widowmaker. We have the Soldier. Looks like we're switching to Zarya. I love the pick here. But as you can see, Lindenwood's coming out with the Ramatra. Ramatra has a lot of survivability, and he's a fantastic brawl tank. And then Sora is sticking to the Mei. A little bit of a switch up here. They're off the Reaper, and they're going with Sojourn. Sojourn is also a fantastic DPS to have right now. Her right click is so easy to hit with the projectile changes in Season 9. And her damage output is fantastic as well.
Absolutely. In pro play, I know we saw a lot of Sojourn, but only by the best of the best players because hitboxes were a little smaller. It was harder to hit those bullets, but when you did hit that charge shot especially, it could one-tap anybody. But now with all these changes, especially to health and hitboxes, it's a little bit more easier for kind of anybody to pick up. Not to say that these teams are anybody. Obviously, they're the cream of the crop at both of these universities. But we're going to be jumping right now into it, actually. We're starting with a quick team fight. We're picking up a little bit of a scrap right now next to the statue.
Yep,
Nobody's
you
actually
see that
contesting
Mei
the
wall.
points.
Mei wall is huge there, being able to wall off our Moira. Even though with all the escapability she has, you can't get past a thick ice wall, and Lindenwood's able to capitalize on that very quickly, and that immediately stalls the first team fight. But this first point is tough to play. I'm interested to see if we get some swaps. We already swapped to Tracer here. We're looking at the Mercy Soldier pocket. It's one of my favorites. I'm definitely a Soldier main. Having a Mercy is fantastic. But you can see we're doing a little bit of a poke here with the Tracer, playing around Hotel, and we get a little bit of a team fight here at Statue, walled off, and we lose Soldier first into the fight. Ramatra picks up the kill on Zarya, and it's going to be another fallback for UWRF.
Yep, 2 kills going in the way of Lindenberg, but it looks like it was just a repeat of history next to that statue. The same Mei wall came up, and it doesn't seem like UWRF is learning from these mistakes. I will say, like you said, we have these stall champions like Mei, but then you have the mobility champions to get even around that wall if they need to get a quick kill in, some more damage, or to flee away. It doesn't seem like River Falls has that much mobility. I mean, now we have the Hampton and a little bit of the Tracer, and I guess you could consider Mercy if somebody else gets over that wall, but there's not many other ways to get through it.
I agree. It looks like they're realizing and capitalizing on our play here. We went high ground, trying to get on a point, and it looks like we're able to flip the fight here. We'll see if anyone's able to capitalize on the early pick, but it looks like Lindenwood gets that with the Ramatra. Both healers are down, Soldier down. We do get a pick on the Sojourn, which is nice, but they'll be able to get back quick with their slide, and looks like we're going to have to stall out another team fight. We'll see if Hamster's able to get out, but looks like Wrecking Ball has been – it's a fun tank to have. It's nice to have, but you have to have that tight coordination, especially with your DPS. Having only the Tracer is going to be hard to follow up, especially with this heal comp they're running. Again, with the Lucio able to get out of dodge very quickly, the Moira having the fade.
Absolutely, it seems to be more of a pushy tank when you have instances like Hampton, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of damage follow-up. I wonder if that either falls under the Tracer or the Soldier 76. But it looks like the kill feed is blowing up blue already. They're just spawn camping them right now, and there it is, that Hamster. See, like I said, a push character, trying to push them off the team, trying to get a regroup here and there, maybe open up some opportunities for Sparky to get in there. I believe that's Sparky.
Yep, Sparky on the Tracer. It's just going to be tough. The Maze, her left click's able to slow down Hamster. So if he's trying to roll around, do his quick moves, try to be agile, that's her number one thing. She's able to wall him off, slow him down, make it very difficult for us to play tank here. This is going to be a tough team fight. We got 45 seconds left here on first point of Kings Row. All 5 alts online for Lindenwood, almost all 5 for UWRF. This is going to be an interesting team fight. First alt, I feel, is going to win here. We got mines down for Hamster.
It's actually the Hamster on the flank right now.
Yep.
Looks like he's trying to go for the squishies. He's trying to put the DPS role into his own hands, and he looks like he's a little bit stuck on the wall, but then plummets right back down onto the point, trying to capture with 19 seconds left onto the game, and sadly, nobody is able to group up on UWRF side. It is all coming up Lindenberg right now onto the point. While no kills have been traded, it's a very, very, very dirty scrap right now.
It looks like Moira goes down here. That's going to be tough to win this fight. Mercy, our soul healer, will be able to stall with Ball and Tracer, but they may ult the point, which makes it a little bit more difficult. Kurzak picks up another kill on our soldier. Sparky goes down. This Ball will be traded out here eventually, and we're going to have to play solid defense here. It's possible. Anything's possible on Kings Row. But Lindenwood has a very solid comp here. And I'm interested to see if we go into a brawl here.
And that is round 1, Lindenberg. It doesn't seem like UWRF was able to actually get a foothold onto the point. I do like the strategy of going around the back alley and completely flipping the fight, trying to, hunker down on the point while having the enemies come to them.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they were just simply overpowered. It didn't seem like they had a strong enough front line.
Yep.
The mobility characters on Lindenberg's side Lindenwood's side, excuse me, misspeak. Lindenwood's side seem to just pummel through the front line of UWRF and hit the back line entirely. As we saw in the team fights, the healer would go down every single team fight. They would go down first, no matter what. So it seems like it's going to be more of a defensive mindset for UWRF going into this next round. Something to actually protect the backline, or at least stall out the backline, keep some more of that sustain going.
Yes.
What do you think that they should bring for this?
I love some type of Ramatra here. As you could see, the way Lindenwood was playing that, Ramatra was able to take space. He's able to punch out the rest of their back line. Yeah, Mercy was hard to hit because she's mobile, she's in the air. But I would definitely love a Ramatra here. But you see, we're bringing out the Honorable Reinhardt on Kings Row. I love it. I love the Bastion pick. We're just going to have to play a solid defense here. Poke, damage. It's going to be huge to try and control this point. Try to keep them from coming in and taking too much space on point. And it looks like Lindenwood's going with their original comp with the Mei, Reaper, Zarya, Moira, Lucio. So I'll be interested to see what they kind of play here.
Looks like Reinhardt, Agent 9, is getting a little aggressive right now, trying to get up right into the spawn. Same thing that Lindenwood did. Yeah, but it seems like they're getting pushed back very
well. So this is very nice for us. They're down a cooldown. We'll be able to kind of hold them in a hotel, and you see a nice pickup there by Bastion.
Absolutely. Great turret mode right there by Enderfire. Able to pick off the Moira.
Yeah, it's a fantastic one to pick off. It's going to make them stall out and give us another 20 seconds here at least to set up a solid defensive hold.
Absolutely. One of the picks that I absolutely love the Reinhardt pick. I know we were talking about this even before the game.
It's fantastic.
Both love Reinhardt. Sometimes some coaches think that Reinhardt is awful for certain maps, but I think it is super fun to watch. It is fantastic to play. Love Reinhardt. But one of the picks that I'm interested in is Sparky on the Ashe. Like you said, that poke comp is going to kind of come into importance. They're trying to maintain the point, have as much tank and as much sustain onto the point, while having this Ashe in the backline kind of poke down the squishies. But it looks like it's actually working really well.
We do trade out here a healer for Reaper. We're able to kind of stall them out. The dynamite will keep them burning and sitting inside of hotel. Looks like we're just kind of stalling out here. May's trying to work Reinhardt here. The shield's fantastic against the Zarya. She's not able to pierce it, but they just farm their ult faster. They're able to coalesce and win this team fight here, keep everyone up on their side, and that'll be a cap, and Kings Row will fall.
Unfortunate, but I will say Lindenwood, great use of the ult synergy.
Yep,
as we noticed, Mei got in front. We don't often see Mei as a frontliner. Like we were saying, maybe a pseudo frontliner, kind of a pseudo tank, more of a sustain. But she was right up there in the thick of it. Within 5 UWRF players, she was just right in the middle, gathering all of their attention, used her ability to stall going into that little ice block, and then the rest of the team was able to follow up. After UWRF poured all of their utility right onto that Mei, Lindenwood was able to capitalize.
We had some fantastic picks at the start there. I was really happy with how our defensive hold was starting there. But they had a strong foothold in Hotel. They're able to play with that Lucio again, like we were talking about on last map.
Absolutely.
And they were able to capitalize with that Mei. Their walls were very coordinated. They were able to single off a target of ours, pick them off with that team synergy. It's a tough comp to play into. Brawl is one of my favorite ways to play. I love playing a coordinated brawl with the Lucio speed. And if you have a solid tank, shot calling, it makes it a lot easier for everyone else. You know exactly who everyone's supposed to be targeting. It's just a tough comp to play into. But again, I love how we were able to adapt. We started off with a certain comp. I think we played kind of a half dive, half poke.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we were able to switch that up, play a solid starting poke comp on defense there. It's going to be tough. We'll have to. I'd love to see kind of a tracer, maybe even a Doomfist for tank.
Ooh.
Doomfist is he has a lot of survivability, a lot of mobility. They don't really have anything that would counter Doomfist on their team. The Mei wall, you could say would definitely be a counter, but he's able to jump up, fly around the map, basically. So
it would be
interesting.
Pretty similar pick to the Hampton, where it's just that strict mobility onto a tank. But I guess the difference with Doomfist is that he also has, unlike Hampton, high single target damage. He is not only able to get into the back line similar to the hamster ball, but he's also able to punch out the Mercy or whoever else may be back there healing. The Moira plays were fantastic by Lindenwood. So if we could get a Doomfist in there and just focus that one down, I think we would be able to adapt. But I do think that in that last team fight when they were stuck in Hotel, that actually was going very, very well for UWRF.
Yep, I agree.
I do think that the turning point was when Mei got into the middle of point, distracted all of the players, and then Lindenwood was able to kind of coordinate all of their ults. We saw a Lucio ult, we saw the Moira ult, we saw I believe maybe it was the Mei ult. There was some sort of another AoE ult. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it was all coming up. It was all synergized. They definitely were trying to wait on cooldowns. They're like, all right, guys, we're at 70%. The rest of you guys wait for me, okay? We can stall out a little bit more, maybe do some poke damage, maybe get the point, but we're just going to wait for ultis. And then once that Hotel push came in, UWRF actually did amazing at holding them and stalling them.
A decent amount of time.
Like I said, the Ashe up top, poking them down with the Reinhardt down on the low ground is a great opportunity to just kind of get some sniper tank action. It's two completely different roles, synergizing really well. But once all of those ults came through and once that Mei got the distraction, it was over.
It's just tough. We lost our Moira in that first fight, and only having one healer. Baptiste is a good healer, but having to have Baptiste try to focus on many different targets at once. That's the positive and the upside of Moira is she's able to throw out her heal orb that's able to hit all four other targets at the same time, heal herself. So having that go down in the start of a team fight is just very tough. But I agree. Our hold there at the start was solid. Ryan was actually playing very solid. He was able to stay alive, which is difficult on this patch.
Oh, very much
He was able to stay alive, and I did like the Ashe poke as well. Being able to get the little chip damage, have Ryan swing his hammer, maybe get a pin or two. It was working very solidly, but they were able to some teams get kind of scared of sitting in Hotel and, we need to move. We're stuck. But they took that to their advantage. They waited for we had the trade out with the Moira and the Reaper. They were able to wait for their Reaper to come back into the team fight, stall out, build alt charge, and they were able to pop those before us and ultimately win the fight.
Absolutely. I think it's very interesting as well is the focus on the Reinhardt is that while we didn't see too many pins, as entertaining as that would be, there weren't too many opportunities for it. Lindenwood just played a little too close together. They would have shot Reinhardt in the back. It wouldn't have been worth the pin. But the shield usage and the shield, I guess,
fantastic.
Economy, not letting that break, getting to the perfect amount of crack to the point where he knows he can back off, take some heals, have his team kind of tank a little bit of the damage for him until he gets that shield back up, going back into it. Fantastic use of the Reinhardt, in my opinion. Despite, when you look at both of the comps before the game starts, you would anticipate that would be the weakest character on the team.
I agree. Playing into the Zarya, though, it's nice to have the shield. She doesn't get as much utility and value out of her single target damage when she has to try and burst down a shield. It makes it a lot harder for her to also farm her ability charge with her bubbles. But they just got the ults first. Getting your ults first, being able to pop those and win the team fight is It's the name of the game in Overwatch.
Absolutely. It's where the rubber hits the road, as people used to say. But I will say, going back to the actual team comp itself, is the Baptiste pick. I want to know your thoughts on that, because we both hype up Moira, fantastic healer, as well as surprisingly a damage dealer. Even with that ult, it can pump as much damage out as it can heal. But Moira is very nice because there's a lot of AoE. There's a lot of adaptability and flexibility between, do I want to sit on the back line and kind of watch for any Genji that's going to try and take out my Ashe, or do I want to watch the front line and support the Reinhardt? But with Baptiste, it's a little bit more overwhelming because you kind of have to pick and choose and then commit to one area of play. And it seems like that was probably the Achilles heel right now for River Falls, is that 5th character pick. Not necessarily one player, but just 5th character on any given role. It doesn't seem to fit into the comp perfectly.
We've been kind of running, mix and match, pluck and play comps. I would love for us to, go all in on one.
Absolutely.
All brawl, all dive, all poke. But the Baptiste is still a solid healer. With the global, health increases, he's not as valuable as he was. Ana and Baptiste are not seen as valuable because they're burst healers. They're only able to, heal 50 per shot. And when you have to heal more and you only shoot a single shot at a time, and you have reload and stuff like that comes into play, they lose their value a little bit. Which saves Baptiste over an Ana in this season is the Immortality Field. The Immortality Field is still one of the best abilities in the game.
Absolutely.
Being able to throw down a lamp that people have to divert their attention to follow up and get an elimination is huge.
It's almost like a 6th player.
It is.
Pretty much.
It's like having a Bob, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. You divert the enemy team's attention, and that gives you enough time to, like we were saying, stall, dive the back line if needs be, or, just kind of pull off and heal a little bit. It's a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Yeah, it is. And that's definitely where having that Baptiste over an Ana in this season is huge. Yes, Nano is a fantastic ultimate to have, but window is, if you can coordinate with your other DPS, with your tank, a solid window is a fight-winning ult. So I'm interested to see what we come out with here. Flashpoint, it's a new mode in Overwatch 2. It came out about a year ago. Designed to replace 2CP. You basically have multiple different capture points around the map. The tick rate is pretty quick, so first to 3 caps. It rotates around the map randomly. I enjoyed over 2CP. 2CP was very steamroll heavy, and this has been a very fun addition to the game. I know a lot of people, they're iffy on push. Not everyone's a push fan, but I've seen a lot of people enjoy Flashpoint, and it's nice to see a new mode get some love in this game.
Absolutely. It's amazing to watch as well because it just keeps up the aggression.
Yes.
It kind of makes everything a little bit more dynamic and less, like you said, steamrolly. It's not fun to watch one team just sit on point and kind of bunker down and then move to the next one because, they've been absolutely one-offing every single other player. This one is a little bit more aggression-based, maybe more team fight-oriented. And it looks like we're actually going into a little bit of a scrap right now. No trades have come through, but just as I say that, Agent 9 takes out Kurzak. This is the first pick. 2 kills coming up for River Falls. Moira takes down Enderfire, but we still have our healer up. Let's see if we can capitalize off of this.
We're up 1 here. I'd love to see us commit to another here.
Seems like we're just kind of stalling out right now.
Looks like we are. We're able to pick off their Moira.
2 more going in the
Reaper
Ray.
goes down. We're going to be able to cap this point first here after we take out Lucio.
And there he goes. The slippery little bugger falls.
That's
finally.
Right.
Probably one of the first Lucio kills of the entire series, but there we go. River Falls in the lead for once. Let's see if we can, fix our previous mistakes. It seems like we're actually switching up a little bit of our comp as well. We're bringing the Zendaya the Zenyatta. I don't know why I can't remember that. The Zenyatta along with the Bastion and Lucio.
We're going with a very high damage brawl here. We have the Bastion who's able to go into his turret form and absolutely dump out damage onto the Zarya. It looks like we're kind of focusing on her. As a team, we've analyzed what we've been playing against, and we've noticed we need to take out the tank. I know everyone wants to go for the supports first to try to win the team fight. Being able to eliminate that Zarya is huge. Losing their team coordination.
Bastion gets caught out. Unfortunately, the Moira ult takes out Enderfire. Let's see if Agent 9 gets caught out. Lucio ult comes out, saves him for a bit, but then Agent 9 is about to fall. Our tank is gone. Let's see if Bung Bomb, Sparky, and Adrelli. No, big hand. It's just Sparky left on the point and backs away. waiting for another team fight. Let's regroup. Let's figure this out. It seems like you said the front to back, the brawler kind of oriented playstyle. It's working well for UWRF, but it's the target prioritization.
Yep.
When we're sitting on the point, we seem to be poking every which way, whatever first character comes into our frame rate, you know. We kind of got to focus down specific players. Like you said, it's the tank-oriented playstyle, which is, you know, not typically what people think. You got to go for the squishies, but in this instance, we want to focus onto the tank. But it looks like Sora's going with a huge ult, a 4K right now for the Reaper, and River falls back to the base.
We should be able to have time here. We are playing Lucio. I'm expecting another team fight here. We did get to 94%, which is very solid. The one point about Flashpoint that people don't like is the runtime back to point. There's a very long distance between where you spawn and where you have to run back to point. So
absolutely. It looks like we're actually going right into a brawl right now. 2 coming up for Sora, but Sparky gets one back, and our Bastion falls. Sky picking that one up. 2 left on River Falls, and looks like we're just running away. Another
reset here. We'll be able to, you know, depending on where this point flipped off to, we'll be able to spawn in quickly and regroup. There shouldn't be any advantage from that team fight. Just pretty much a reset there.
Absolutely. And, yeah, the point went very quick. It was a very, very close match.
It's fast.
94 to 100%. But
yep, it was very close.
Very, very close match. River Falls almost had that one. Snuck right out from under them. Like you said, the run back time, I think, is what killed them. But we do have ult advantage. The only one up is Lucio, and that one might be actually detrimental. But we can see what we can do with 4 ults.
They're dropping the May ult right away. That was an interesting decision. And it looks like Sky's able to pick up 3, and we're going to have to reset here again. Very aggressive with their ult usage, capturing point right away and trying to push us off almost instantaneously. I like that we didn't blow any ults in that lost fight there. Lindenwood does have both support ults still available. We do have Trance, which could be life-saving here if we get into a grab from Zarya or some type of May ult again. But we have good ult economy here, so I'm not too worried.
Absolutely.
Just need to get a pick first. You need to get that first kill into the fight.
Looks like we have Bastion ult coming through. All of the ults coming through. Zenyatta ult going with the massive heal. It's a huge scrap. Blue intertwined with red right now.
We get the first. We drop the Zarya and we get the May. We're up 2 here. Now we're up 3. We get the Reaper, and that's 4. Almost a perfect team fight for UWRF. I love the ult usage there. We still have a Ramatra ult, which will be able to zone out the other team here when they come back. They only got to 89, which means we will, if we give up the point, they will cap just with the speed of the capture rate in Flashpoint.
It seems like River Falls is playing more for the retake, rather, which is what we just did.
Needed to do there.
When May ult was burnt and 3 fell, I think at that point we were thinking, okay, guys, we have ult advantage on them. We need to dump them in the next team fight. We need this point, and we need to just play for the reset.
Yep, and it looks like they were able to rush in there with Lucio and Reaper and ult into our backline onto our Moira.
Unfortunately, Agent 9 falls. The tank is down. The kill feed is coming up all blue. It is only 2 left for River Falls.
Team.
91% now onto the point. Can we touch here? That is the question, but it doesn't seem like the run back is going to be in time. No. We're going to hit 100%, and now it is on to the next Flashpoint. That is what this game mode is all about, is the fast-paced energy about it. That is what I love about it, like you said, compared to...
It's quick. It's better than 2CP.
2CP, sure. Absolutely. It definitely
you get the reset.
The speed.
With 2CP, it was very steamroll heavy. If you won that first point and you were able to have the stronger team comp, there was no reset. There was no let's regroup. Basically, you were just either trailing, running out of spawn. With Flashpoint, you're able to regroup onto these points and have some really interesting team fights, which have been very fun to watch.
It seems like we're actually changing out the tank right now for a new character. Lucio comes in. Agent 9 playing a completely new comp right now. We pop out ult, but we don't have any other follow-up.
Fantastic pickup from the Bastion, and Junker Queen's able to finish off the May. As you can see, that's been our key to success. We take out the Zarya first, May drops, and Lindenwood's going for a reset here.
Sora, unfortunately, just kind of takes it in stride, thinking, okay, you know what?
You won the fight. Yep.
We won't give him any more KP, no more ego. Right. We're just going to jump off. But, yeah, River Falls with a great retake. Like you said, it's all about that prioritization. It seems like we're bringing out a little bit more damage instead of focusing on the Myra or maybe the Lucio in the back line. It's all about the tank. It's all about hitting the front line. And that's why we're running 5 pretty solid damage dealers with the exception of Lucio, which Lucio can even pump out damage here and there as well.
Looks like they're going for the early May ult, and this is probably going to win the fight here. 2 drop for UWRF. Bastion's trying to burn down the Zarya, but she's going to have full ult charge there, trying to go, or full bubble charge.
Absolutely. Bastion's able to get one back, but Sky cleans up with the final 2, and the point goes back. Only 10% right now. River Falls will be able to make it back in time for a counterplay.
We'll definitely have at least one more solid team fight here. Looks like they're getting kind of aggressive, but they're falling back. It looks like they were trying to chase out one of our DPS there.
Like you said, this is a staggering runtime back.
It is.
And it looks like we're actually going for a flank right now. I don't know who that is on the right side, but it looks like...
Fantastic pickup from Sparky out of their
Sparky.
Lucio.
It is Sparky. Coming back, hitting the... Bastion is going right into it right now.
Sparky with another pickup on the May here. That is huge. Their off tank is basically gone in this fight. Sora stays alive, picks off our Junker Queen.
Let's see if Sora is
Sparky
able
with
to
another
change it.
kill. Bastion picks up the Reaper for Lindenwood.
All that's
just
left is the Moira.
Left. Fantastic. We'll be able to recap this.
Moira falls, and now the percentage starts ticking up on red side. Let's see what the retake plan is for Lindenwood, because right now it's all about hunkering down and playing safe and in the bunker. But now that they have to retake, I wonder how River Falls is going to counteract to this. We do have Moira ult, as well as
Moira
Sojourn
ult's going to be huge. They're definitely going to probably beat in here with Lucio.
Oh, huge shots coming out from Agent 9 right there, chunking the tank down to half.
I love it. We were able to divert the May wall, and they weren't able to get an advantage. Junker Queen ult goes in here. Sparky's able to pick one up. We're down 2. We're even trades here.
It's actually a 2-2 trade right now. Let's see if the DPSs can fight it out. Sky is still alive. The tank is still alive. Onto the point. We got to focus them down before the healers.
Sky was able to pick off our Moira.
Unfortunate, but we still have...
They still have Grav.
Agent 9. Junker
and
Queen.
And there goes the Grav. Picks up both our Junker Queen and Sojourn.
Bug Bomb is there. 94% on ult. Might be able to get ult within this team fight, but unfortunately it's a 2v4. I don't think much is going to be able to get accomplished. Lucio falls. It's just up to Enderfire, and Enderfire falls to Sora. That is the point right now. 99%. Very, very close match. Closer than the last one. But, yeah,
those are
River
some
Falls,
awesome team fights.
Fantastic to watch. Loved it. Great, great adaptations from both teams. I love the play from River Falls where he had that kind of side flank from Sparky. That's where we were able to pick up, I believe it was the Moira first. But unfortunately, Sora was there to bring 2 back, and that walk back for the other 2 of River Falls was just kind of the detriment of the last team fight right there, was getting into that fight late, not being able to synergize ults very well.
That play of the game right there shows exactly what Lindenwood is going for. They're using that speed with the Lucio to take advantage and push onto our comp very quickly, and with that Reaper ult, up close and personal, somebody's going to drop.
Deadly. And in that instance, everybody dropped. Huge 4K coming out from Sora with the Reaper ult, but
it was a close game.
It was a hard assist from the Lucio, and great adaptation from River Falls nonetheless. It does seem like a stomp from the scoreboard, but if you were looking at the percentages, it was much closer than you would anticipate. The last point was 99%. So if that has anything to go off of, then I don't know what else to say.
It was a close game. I enjoyed that. I love the brawl we went with there. Going with the high damage output with the Sojourn and the Bastion, we were able to pick up a lot of early picks into the fights, which gave us an advantage in some team fights. Going in, we had some fantastic opportunities. We controlled the point multiple times. Just the ults, ended up in their favor. The May ult is a huge one that was able to dictate a lot of the play here.
I think it was a colossal detriment not being able to have the reaction time for certain ults. Like the May ult on the gateway of the 3rd point, that was definitely a winner for that team fight. As well as like we were talking about, the Reaper ult. See, the first Reaper ult we saw in the kill cam, the play of the game, that one was more based off the Lucio speed boost and kind of catching River Falls off guard. There was also another one during that game, also catching River Falls off guard. I believe Agent 9 was the only one that caught it, was on the point when we were all focusing down the tank. I believe it was Sora playing that one, or Sky playing that one. They were focusing down the tank. Reaper was able to get into the backline and just pop an ult. Agent 9 was the only one that was able to use Junker Queen dash to get out of the ult. And, at the end of the fight, Junker Queen was the only one left alive. So, great games nonetheless, though. Super happy to watch. Fantastic cast. Thank you so much, Justin. I appreciate you having me as a co-caster.
I had a fantastic time.
We will say that is not it for UWRF Esports. Tomorrow, we have League of Legends at 7 o'clock p.m. Be there or be square. Going to be a super good one. I'll be back to cast your favorite. I know. Hold your applause. But it's going to be a banger. We're excited. We're going to be going up against Green Bay, actually. So another big UW system
matchup,
college.
yeah.
So it's going to be the Battle of the Wisconsinites.
Battle of Wisconsin.
But I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be fun. League's always fun to watch.
Oh,
Even
absolutely.
if you don't play it, it's fun to watch. I would
sure.
prefer to watch than play personally, but that's just me.
Same here, man. I'm, being a level 30 ain't all it's cracked up to be. But I'll tell you what, when you watch LCS or collegiate games, it's way more fun than solo queuing.
I agree.
Nonetheless, we'll be back tomorrow, like I said, at 7 o'clock p.m. for League of Legends up against UW Green Bay. Tune in next time. I've been James.
I've been Justin.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.